Hold on a second. Oh my God. Again? This is the second time in a row that I've just seen one of the most fraudulent team to win the Stanley Cup, and that is the Florida Panthers. Another year where we got another bad ending. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? This is the freaking 32nd time that we didn't get a Canadian team winning the Stanley Cup, and we got the same old bullcrap, where an American team gets to win the Stanley Cup, and the Canadian team gets screwed yet again. I cannot believe this. I just can't. I just saw one of my number one most hated team in the NHL going on a back-to-back, while the Leafs don't, and the Oilers didn't. The Edmonton Oilers let the entire NHL down. They've let everybody down, only to see the Florida Panthers win yet another Stanley Cup. I don't know what to say. I don't know. What the freak was this, man? Everything was going so well in the playoffs, in the first round. But everything after the first round, it went downwards. And the Florida Panthers keep skating by every flippin' time. You go back to I don't know. That Panthers team doesn't deserve to be on a Stanley Cup Champions. The last time it rained on the Florida Panthers, it was last year, where it went completely and utter ballistic. If you want to check out the rant, you can check it out via the link provided in a pinned comment. If you want to check out that rant. But, oh my God. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? This is the second time in a row that I've seen no Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals for the 5th time in a row. We're not counting 2020 because that year was freaking weird. 2021, no Leafs. 2022, no Leafs in the Cup Finals. 2023, no Leafs in the Cup Finals. 2024, no Leafs in the Cup Finals, despite having the Oilers in the Cup Finals, but lost. And now we got the 5th final straw, where the Panthers win the Stanley Cup again. Let me tell you something. That's not even fair. That is 100% absurd, and it's absolutely 100% rigged. I don't understand. Why? Why does it gotta be the Florida Frauds? The most fraudulent team that had a Mickey Mouse run to the Stanley Cup Finals. Beating Tampa, beating my Leafs, beating Carolina, and beating the Edmonton Oilers. They've destroyed my primary, they eliminated my Leafs, and now they've eliminated my second favorite team. Oh, boy. That, I swear, I don't know what they were doing. The Florida Panthers do not deserve to be Stanley Cup champions. This has got to be the most fraudulent team to win a Stanley Cup. And never again. Since 2019, I've never seen one of the most fraudulent teams to win the Stanley Cup again. Tampa Bay doesn't count since Tampa Bay won their Stanley Cups. At least Tampa Bay was way better than those Florida frauds. And I know people are going to come and say, well, you got to give credit to the Florida Panthers. The Panthers won the Stanley Cup fair and square. No, you didn't. The only thing you did, that's made you win the Stanley Cup was with the help of the officials. Was the help of the refs. But you got Bobrovsky and crew. The only problem is you have the referees. That's the thing. Every call went the Panthers' way. And here comes the more insultive part. You cry to the refs every time. Left and right. And of course, Evander King gets called for a 10-minute misconduct. I've never seen this before. Damn it! This has got to be the most fraudulent, undeserving Stanley Cup team in the history of the National Hockey League. The most fraudulent team to go back-to-back. I've never seen this. I mean, Tampa was better because they were built properly. But the Panthers, they just skate by. Get a free pass, get all the free wins. They even got Brad Marchand from the trade deadline from the Bruins. And this is a freaking disaster. And NHL, you may have You screwed me up. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 times. 5! I don't understand. I don't understand this. I don't. For Christ's sakes. Why is it going to be the Florida Panthers again? Why is it going to be that most disgusting team in the National Hockey League? I've seen this story before with this Panthers team. They beat Tampa. They beat Boston. They beat the Rangers. And they beat the Oilers last year. Oh, Lord. But, oh my God. And this year, they've done the opposite. They've done it again. Not the opposite, but, oh my God. The only thing they did to win that Stanley Cup was injuring players left and right. You got, oh my God. There's so much things that go out of character here. First, you got to go back to the Tampa series, where the Panthers and Matthew Tkachuk hit Brandon Hagel. That was a joke. And Hagel was out. And then they injured Victor Hedman. Sasha Barkov hit Victor Hedman. And then that's just freaking buffoonery right there. Buffoonery right there. Because that was the worst thing that happened. With the Tampa series, this should have been a Tampa Bay series win. This should have been Tampa Bay in 7 in the first round. But no. Then, the Leafs series. Where Sam Bennett elbowed Anthony Stolarz. We had to put in Joseph Woll. And the Panthers came back, made the Leafs not only blow a 2-0 series lead, but also made the Leafs blow a 3-1 lead in Game 3. I should have said this early, but I was depressed. But I'm going to say this right now to get this off my skin. Panthers, you should be ashamed of yourselves for making the Leafs blow a 2-0 series lead. That's a joke. And in the Carolina series, you nearly injured Freddie Anderson. And in the Cup Finals, you nearly injured Stuart Skinner. This is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. This Florida Panthers team does not deserve to go on a Stanley Cup repeat. That team is a fraudulent team. And no matter what, that team doesn't deserve to win jack. It's unacceptable. It's complete bullcrap. And it's not even fair. This is an absolute nightmare. An absolute joke of a season. Everything that went wrong did go wrong. Leafs lost to the Panthers in 7. And the Oilers lost to the Panthers in the Cup Finals in 6. What a joke. This is an absolute disaster class. And I know there's going to be people out there saying they deserved it. They didn't deserve jack. The Leafs deserve to be Stanley Cup champions because guess what? They got all the players. Chris Tanev, OEL, Lockton, Carlo. They added Stolarz. Even added depth players like Lorentz and a guy named Max Pacioretty. But no. The Hockey Gods decided to screw it over. They decide to screw me over. And that's what happened. It's a joke. I can't bear to say anymore. And Florida Panthers, y'all don't deserve to go on a Stanley Cup repeat. Y'all don't deserve to go back-to-back. You don't. You are the biggest frauds I've ever seen in 6 years of watching the National Hockey League. Way to freaking go, NHL. Way to freaking go. What could have been the Toronto Maple Leafs for 2025 winning the Stanley Cup, it didn't happen. I got bogeyed. This is some bullcrap. And the Oilers deserve to win the Stanley Cup too. And the drought doesn't deserve to continue. It deserves to end. But no, it had to be the Gary Bettman way. That's a joke. I'm tired of this. And Hockey Gods, for Christ's sake, can we have the Leafs winning the Stanley Cup in 2026? I'm tired of waiting. I'm fed up with it, man. I'm done. I hope to God the Panthers go on a downfall next year. Because if they don't, if they win another Stanley Cup, I'm going to freaking explode. I've done it last year, and I've done it this year. It better not happen next year, or else we're going to have issues. God dang it.